Also, I reconnected the MTP MIDI timepiece through that long cable underneath the hole to MIDI timepiece over there, MIDI timepiece AV, and some complicated shit going on there, but it's networked together. So instead of just having 8 MIDI ports times 16 channels each, I've got 8 there and 8 there. That's 16 MIDI ports times 16. So 16 times 16, you do the math. That's how many, that's what, 256 channels of MIDI, possibly up to 256 keyboards if you daisy chain them all together, in theory. But that's bullshit. Practically, it's just basically 16 keyboards or computers and samplers, and that is not enough for my orchestra. I really need more. MTPs are old 90s technology. Got to get away from that. Get the MIO, the new patented MIO MIDI, which can go up to 896 channels, or basically 8 times 8, 64 different devices or more, or 128 devices times 16 channels each. That equals 896 possible keyboards, right? But to run a whole stage, you know, lighting is controlled by MIDI sometimes. Each computer is controlled by MIDIs. You really run out really fast, so I got to get rid of these MOTU 90s bullshit, Mark of the Unicorn, and get the new MIOs. Different company, totally state-of-the-art and compatible with USB and all the latest interfaces and keyboards. A lot of keyboards don't even have MIDI interface anymore. They're just USB. Okay, you got the piano working. So it's playing through the E4 sampler here on one of the towers. So how do I route this piano to that sampler computer, or to any other instrument over there, and the other computers and samplers and all of that? Well, like I said, that was the brain of the entire system is this MTP MIDI timepiece AV, and it's 90s technology. It's a fucking pain in the ass. Freaking always something goes wrong all the time. But anyway, it's a router. Basically, you got channels, input channels and output channels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you have another expansion of another, not channels, actually ports. In and out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. And then out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you basically plug in your cables in and out for all the different devices. Make sure you label your devices, you know, so like computer Hector number 15, or channel 15, it corresponds to 8 plus, you know, basically channel 15 is 8 plus 7, you know, 8 over there, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that corresponds to the Hect computer, which is down there. And there's another number 12 sampler computer, also down there. This computer here, to the left, is ports 4 and 5. That's West CPU. So this would be inputs, and actually now the devices, you got keyboard 1, 2, and you got a keyboard 12 and 11. So once you've labeled everything, so these input will go into in this piano, input 2, and I want to send it to output to port 4 only, I don't want it to play 2 instruments, although it can. It can play on both port 4 and 5. So the software over here routes input channel 2, where this piano is, and I connected it to output 4, which corresponds to this guy, 4. See? So by setting the routing panels here, I'm software controlling this brain to route any one of these inputs and outputs to any one of the other inputs and outputs. But the limitation is there's only 16 ports. Nowadays in the big stage show, you know, you sometimes, like Depeche Mode, whatever, you might be using 64 ports or more. And so, you know, MIDI guitars, MIDI keyboards, MIDI drums, MIDI effects, MIDI vocal controllers, and so on and so on. So just the keyboards alone might take up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 keyboards. You know, you run out of space real quick, and these MOTU devices just can't handle it. It's just so bullshit, really. I'm really sick of it, and it won't do for a stage show. So you got to get the Mio, which is a newer technology, and it's more like everyone just raves about it. It's just turn it on and forget about it, you know. It's always there for you, and just configure it once with your software, and that's it. So anyway, with the Mio you would see maybe a similar matrix, but much bigger, many more inputs and many more outputs. So, but anyway, this was advanced for its time, and I had over 3.5 million listens from my classical recordings from this kind of a system.